Welcome to the first video of my 5-day celebration of my 5th anniversary on YouTube. Today we're going to be doing 2 Diecast Showcase. This is the video segment on Keystone Productions where I take the diecast out of their case and show them to you. So without further ado, let's get started with today's video. In today's first installment of the 5 days of videos for my 5th year anniversary, we're going to be taking a look at 2 diecasts pictured in front of you. The 1976 Cadillac Coupe DeVille made by Auto World and the 2015 Chevrolet SS piloted by Jeff Gordon, sponsored in part by Axalta and Penn State, made by Lionel NASCAR Collectibles. So, what diecast should we start out with? Well, let's start out with what I know best. That's NASCAR diecast. Well, first off, because this is my first diecast showcase video, let me take this opportunity to explain what a diecast showcase is going to be here on Keystone Productions. First off, I'm going to show that it's basically going to be a product review of the car. So first off, I'll show the diecast model in its package, take it out of the package, show it on the Pocono replica, and then take it for a few spins in the diecast rotation station, which is my fancy name for my turntable. So without further ado, let's get started on the diecast showcase of Jeff Gordon's 2015 Axalta Penn State Chevrolet that he drove at Pocono Raceway in June of 2015. So let's take a quick look at the packaging. It's your typical Lionel packaging with your information sticker on this side. The barcode, because this was sold at the track, is on this side. NASCAR hologram on the top, and all the legal nonsense on the bottom. So to take this car out of its box, it's rather simple, but complex at the same time. There's a plethora of flaps you have to open. There's a quick look at all that nonsense. But once you bypass that, the car comes out rather easily. And this car in particular, in my opinion, looks fantastic. Now, if you don't know, Jeff Gordon is my all-time favorite race car driver, and Penn State is a possible college that I will attend next year. So this diecast kind of fits rather well into my collection. So for that reason, I'm a huge fan of this diecast. But beyond that, even if I hated Jeff Gordon and hated Penn State, I have to say the paint scheme, although rather plain, is pretty cool. To take a quick 360 look at this car, it's basically the Penn State blue with white logos all over the place. Now, I'm a big advocate of Jeff Gordon's yellow numbers, so the fact that they're white on this car kind of irritates me a little bit. It's just that Jeff Gordon's numbers have always been yellow. So the fact that they're not on this car and a couple of his other cars in recent years kind of aggravated me a little bit, but that's just my personal opinion. In terms of the paint scheme on this car, it's like I said, a solid blue car with some blue, black, and white accents going down the side of the car. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it's just a recolor of his Texas Engineering College from 2014, when Texas College of Engineering, I forget the formal name of it, partnered with Axalta last year. I'm pretty sure it's just a recolor of this paint scheme, but I think it looks so fantastic. Aside from the blue all over the place, we have a few sponsor logos we should probably mention. We have Axalta on the hood and Penn State logos all over the rest of the back of the car, as well as Jeff Gordon's usual sponsors in 3M, AARP, Pepsi, and Drive to End Hunger on the deck lid. In terms of other Lionel details that only this diecast will possess, it has Jeff Gordon's name on the windshield banner, partnered with the 2 Chevrolet bow ties, and it is on the EL mold. Now, if you don't know anything about NASCAR diecast, in recent years, well, just with the Gen 6 cars, Lionel actually used 3 different molds to produce diecast. They started out with the EL mold, then they went to the WLS mold, and now they're on the PTC mold, but then they're going back to the EL mold for 2016. Now, what do all those letters mean? The EL mold is basically signified by these generic looking tires, kind of not too prominent Chevrolet bow ties. I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. And the overall quality of the diecast is a lot better. It's got all the decals on straight and very good quality. Now the WLS mold and the PTC mold are practically one and the same. If I use Kyle Larson's example here, as you might be able to notice, the tires are a bit different. Apart from the white rims, the Goodyear printing is different and the overall shape of the tire is different. Now, apart from minor changes in the design of the car, spoiler is the main difference, as well as the shape of the front end. These cars are practically identical, except that the overall quality of this car pales in comparison to the quality of this car. And going back to the Chevrolet badges, they are a bit more colorful on the windscreen of the Larson car than the Gordon car. I don't know if colorful is the right word, but they do look more detailed, so they are slightly different. But that's really about it for the molds. I just wanted to give that quick overview in case you don't know anything about what molds Lionel uses, because it's something to really consider when you're buying their diecast. But one final look at this car before I throw it on the diecast rotation station. Overall, if you can still find this car, which I think you can, most diecast sites do have this for sale, I would highly recommend it. It's a pretty good collector piece, whether you're a Penn State fan, you're a Jeff Gordon fan, you're a Chevrolet fan, you like blue cars, anything of that nature. So just to quickly throw the box back in there in the background, one final look at the diecast. Now without further ado, let's take it for a spin in the diecast rotation station. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at Jeff Gordon's 2015 Exalta Penn State Chevrolet, but we still have one more car to look at in this video, and that is Auto World's rendition of the 76 Cadillac Coupe DeVille. Now, right off the bat, you'll notice this is entirely different. First off, it's not a race car. Second, it's a different manufacturer, so we have a whole different host of things to take a look at. Number one is the packaging. You get a collector box included with the diecast, some very nice card art. It's in the Land Yacht series, meaning it's a huge car, so it's practically, well, a boat that's on land, because yachts are big boats, in case you didn't know. On the back of the package is listed all the other cars included in this wave or release of cars that Auto World did, and a short description of this and an advertisement to go on to AutoWorldGarage.com. But we're not going to do that because we're focusing on the diecast. Now, this diecast is, I hope, a lot easier to open than the Jeff Gordon car. It looks like it's just a pretty simple blister, and it is. It opens right up like that, and you can see, apart from the rip here, more detail in the card art. So let's take out everything from the blister and move the package aside. Here's a quick look at the box that's included, so if you want, you can throw the blister away rip it entirely off the car and store the car in this box. Auto World boasts that this is true 1/64th scale. It again has Auto World logos all over the place. The sub release, the segment name, that's what I was thinking. The name of the car and the artwork of the car. So that's about it for the box. The car is secured in a little plastic thingamajigger in the package. Let's take that out and take a look at this car. And my, is it a beauty. I've yet to make the Keystone Buys video of this car, but in one of my failed attempts at it, I highly praised this car. First off, it looks fantastic. Second, well, the car in real life looks fantastic. Secondly, Auto World did a fantastic job replicating it. I don't know how well my camera is focusing. Maybe that's a little better. You can start to see all the details on this car. Now let me move the camera back down to the ground so we can take a closer look at this without my big fat hands in the way. Alrighty, now before we continue with actually showcasing all the details of this car, let me give you a brief idea as to just how different this car is from the Jeff Gordon car. First things first, it has a metal chassis with rubber wheels, as well as an opening hood. At least I believe it opens. Let me see here if we can open this puppy up. Doesn't open too much, but you can get a glimpse of the engine detail down there if you have this car in person in your hand. It has a lot of detailing around the front. We continue to look at the details. We have headlights, the grille, a license plate, a lot of silver trim around the wheels, around the windows. We have a different color soft top in the back that is attached. Auto World made a Camaro that is convertible. It does have the top as a removable piece. The back has even more details with the tail light and reflector, decals, the license plate, the Cadillac logo. Let's see if we can zoom in on this Cadillac logo and have it focused in at the same time. Yeah, look at that. It's hard to tell because it's such a small logo, but they even decaled the Cadillac logo both on the center of the trunk and above the taillight here. Look at the detail in that license plate. This is a fantastic car. It's also, to my knowledge, the largest 1/64th scale car I have in my collection. It's actually so large that this is actually the first time I'm trying this out. I bought one of Greenlight's International Durastar flatbeds. This car just barely fits on. This is the only car I have that would possibly hang over the back of this flatbed, and I was worried that it would, but thankfully it doesn't, so we can get this flatbed out of the background and continue focusing on the car. I think that's about all I can say about this car. It has beautiful white-walled tires, incredible detail all around. I think I'd best just put this in the Diecast rotation station and let that video do all the talking. So let's do that, and then we'll come back and wrap this video up. Well, that wraps things up for the first day of my 5 days of videos for my 5th anniversary of YouTube. I hope you enjoyed my first 2 official Diecast Showcase videos, and I hope you continue to tune in for the remainder of this video series. There's 4 days of videos left, and I think that you won't be disappointed with any of them. I'm not going to reveal what videos are in store, just for the simple surprise factor. But I can tell you that every video in this series is going to be an example of what to expect in 2016 on this channel. So on that slight bombshell, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video, which just so happens to be tomorrow.